is over 50, so what? I'm Carol. Now, I don't know about you, but I've noticed that I've put on a bit round the middle over the last few years. And it does seem to get harder and harder to keep your tummy under control. Today, our first guest is weight loss expert Jamie Hayes. And Jamie's going to share with us some eating tips and habits to help keep our middle under control. Please join us in the 5-minute fitness segment after the break. And then we're going to meet everyday legend Jeremy Bingham. Jeremy, in his 50s, started a new marriage, a new role as mayor, and he took up triathlons. And then in his 60s, he took up theatre sports. Enjoy the show. Today, we continue our discussion on how to keep the tummy fat under control with Jamie Hayes, weight loss and fitness veteran from Healthy Inspirations. Jamie and his wife, Alan, started Keto Fitness, which has helped over 15,000 women to lose weight. Hi Jamie, welcome to Over 50 So What? Great to have you back on the show.
Hi Carol, and it's great to be here.
What are we eating, or what should we be eating for health and weight loss, weight control?
What we used to be able to eat when we were 10 years younger, 20 years younger, 30 years younger, maybe our bodies can't tolerate that and maintain a healthy weight anymore. So what we assumed was healthy, we should be able to eat. Maybe our body's tolerances have changed. Particularly, and all foods fall into 3 categories or are made up of 3 categories: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Now, proteins provide essential amino acids. We all need those. They're essential because your body can't make it for itself. So we need to intake protein. So I really encourage everybody to prioritize protein in every meal, if you have breakfast, if you do eat breakfast, prioritize protein in breakfast. If you do have a snack, prioritize protein in the snack. If you do, when you have lunch, prioritize protein. Dinner, prioritize protein. I'm not saying a high protein diet. I'm saying optimal protein. I'm not saying minimum protein needs. I'm saying optimum protein needs. Probably more than you're used to, because one of the benefits of that, particularly for weight control, is the satiation, or it keeps you fuller for longer. So people who optimize their protein tend to find that they're less hungry through the day and they actually eat less calories. So calories count, you just don't have to count them. So we've got proteins, then we've got fats. Now, we don't really have to add much fat, particularly if we're having the naturally occurring fat in meats, fish, eggs, things like this, maybe a little bit of olive oil or a little bit of fat in something like an avocado, that's fine. But I would avoid the manufactured fats, the polyunsaturated seed oils and all those things. Definitely a little bit of butter when you're cooking, fine, all that sort of stuff. Butter's not the problem, it's what you put the butter on. So we've got protein, we've got fat. So we want to keep those fats down because generally we've got excess energy. And the other one is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are mainly present in cereals, grains, bread, pasta, rice, starchy vegetables like potatoes, things like that, and high sugar fruits. And there is no such term as essential carbohydrates. So we can almost get by with almost none, down to the equivalent of 4 teaspoons of sugar per day. Not that I suggest you have that. So what I would suggest everybody does is when you prioritize protein, add some green leafy vegetables because they are very low carbohydrate load. So in all meals, try and put some greens on there. Minimize the starchy vegetables and also minimize high sugar fruits. So here, actually in my water, I'm having a lemon. Now a lemon is a low sugar fruit. So I'm putting a bit of lemon in my water. So, and if you say, I'm going to eat every meal on a plate with a knife and fork. So breakfast, I'm going to cook up some protein, maybe eggs and bacon and things like that. I'm going to add some greens, some spinach. I'm going to eat it with a knife and fork. At lunch, I'm going to have a salad, but with a good chunk of fish in that salad. At dinner, maybe I've got a good sized pork chop, with a whole lot of greens around it. So we're really, what I'm saying, prioritize protein, eat off your plate, minimize the fats, but having the naturally occurring fat that comes in the meat and the fish, and then have loads of those green leafy vegetables. So we've got a high nutrient diet. And if you do that, you'll stay satisfied, your insulin levels will come down, and you'll find, gee, my tummy is going down.
Now, what about alcohol? Where does that fit into the equation?
Doesn't. Except, let's face brutal reality, that for many it's a part of life. Now, firstly, I'm going to put it out there. Ethanol, which is a poison to humans, which comes in alcohol, there is no net health benefit to drinking alcohol, despite what we've said. Oh, I believe wine's healthy, or a little bit of beer is healthy and things like that. The study's gone in and out. There is no net health benefit to drinking alcohol. But if you do choose to drink it, and excuse the phone ringing over there, if you do choose to drink it, don't drink it for thirst. So always drink. So here we've got some lovely water. Drink water for thirst, never alcohol for thirst. So, have plenty of water or tea or coffee throughout the day. And then let's say it comes to wine o'clock. What's that, 6 o'clock or whatever it is. And you fill that glass of wine. Always have a glass of water first. And so drink wine for flavour, water for thirst. So whenever you top up one glass, always add that. And you really want to monitor exactly how much you're drinking. So you and say, okay, I'm going to give myself a glass of wine with a meal, and I monitor it. So what makes it difficult? Let's say you're sitting at a table and somebody keeps on topping up your wine glass. It's difficult to monitor it, isn't it? The golden rule is drink water for thirst, grog for flavour, and have some alcohol-free days every week. If you cannot go without alcohol a few days, you've got to face the brutal reality. Gee, do I have a problem? Is that a choice, or I'm having difficulty with that? So hopefully you are free to choose, which means, and the freedom to choose, I'm free to choose to have alcohol, but I'm free to choose not to as well. I didn't want to be boring there. But so you can really enjoy people's company. And let's say you're with your grandchildren. Are you going to serve them wine? No.
Good point. Now, when it comes to reading food labels, you've got some very quick and easy tips for this.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer, Carol, and I know that you know, but just to really put out there, my tip to how to read food labels, if you want to lose weight and if you want to prevent disease, prevent illness, maximize your immune function. I learnt this tip from my grandmother, Miriam, and whom I call Mama. Because when she was out on the property, in the New England area of New South Wales, they only had fresh foods. They didn't buy food with labels. So the golden rule is don't eat food with labels, or minimize the amount of food you eat with labels. Buy foods, go into the supermarket, walk around the perimeter where firstly on the right, I'm thinking of my supermarket, on the right we've got all those veggies and fruits and things like that. Then we go to the meat sections, and then the dairy section, and then the eggs. Have those and avoid everything else. All those lines with the processed packaged foods, and which includes those processed oils, the polyunsaturated oils and things like that. So the golden rule in how to read food labels is just stop eating food with labels. Get fresh foods that you have to put in the fridge, not the pantry, the fridge, or go shopping every day. So you're always eating lots of fresh foods which are high in nutrient density and low in calorie density, and that will help protect your health.
Well, Jamie, thank you very, very much for all that great information today. I think everyone's very, very clear on what they should be doing to keep that tummy fat under control.
It's a pleasure, Carol, and just acknowledging once again everything I learned about food and nutrition I learned from my grandmother.
Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50. So what?